December 23rd, 2022 would be an ordinary day, as ordinary as it could possibly get, considering that Christmas is literally 2 days away. And so as you can imagine, there is the craziness of all of the cars and traffic and people, and amongst that craziness are my parents, who decided to come and visit me for the holidays. And so it's not this thing in which like I'm dreading it, right? I'm actually excited that my parents are there because of the following reasons. They paid for my lunch, right? They paid for my last minute gifts, and we came up with this wonderful menu that appeased to mostly my own taste buds. And so as I'm returning back to my own home for the evening, I noticed that there's this sharp pain in the left side of my back. So someone that's prone to muscle spasms, I'm totally just writing this off and going about my business and going about my day. It wasn't until I went to sleep later that evening that I noticed that this pain would then turn into a shortness of breath as I'm trying to lie on my left side. And so, because sleep is more important, right, I decided that I would not do anything about it and just wait until the next day, tough it out. Well, the next day came, and this pain, this shortness of breath, is still there. And so, December 24th, follow that timeline there, December 24th, Christmas Eve, I have to go to the hospital. That sucks. And so here, I'm in the hospital, and before I get to the hospital, there's something that I did in true millennial fashion to see if I actually had to go, right? You can guess. I Googled my symptoms. WebMD told me that I had died about 30 days ago, so it was probably pretty important for me to go and get checked out. And so as I'm at the hospital and I'm talking to the receptionist, I'm immediately rushed to the back because it seems as if I'm presenting symptoms of a heart attack. What? A heart attack at 28 years old? Not possible. And it wasn't, at least in my instance or in my case. And so as I'm getting the clear bill of health from the doctors and getting ready to make my way out of the door, literally almost at the door, a PA stops me dead in my tracks. Jamison, have you had a chest x-ray? Now I'm thinking, should I lie? Because I'm almost out the door, right? But then I thought that it was probably best for me to tell this guy, no, I haven't, and figure out really what's going on. So about 20 to 30 minutes after the chest x-ray, my doctor, who was enthusiastic to talk to me at first, came back to me and looked as if he saw a ghost. Your lung should look a little something like this. And right now, it looks like this. Huh? How do you fix that? Because I'm a student of Grey's Anatomy, right? And so here I am, I'm just thinking that they're gonna crack open my chest in the hallway and they're gonna do this life-saving surgery. That's not how it happened, luckily. But before anything happened, I was like, wait, we need to wait until my mom gets here because she makes all the decisions, not me. I'm not adult enough to do that. And so my mom gets there, they do the chest tube, and so the lung starts to recover. It's Christmas Day, and my lung is back to its full capacity, and it's removed, but we're gonna monitor to see what's going on. Well, once the chest tube is removed, the lung starts to deflate again. And there is where my PA and my doctor had to be replaced with an actual surgeon. Actual footage of me recording on Snapchat because priorities, but actual footage of me getting ready to undergo my first major surgery. And so with that, there's all types of nerves, there's all types of questions that I have, mainly questioning my doctor. Will I be put to sleep? Will I wake up after I'm put to sleep? And furthermore, how many times have you done this? Do you know exactly what you're doing? And so my surgeon assured me that he's the best at what he does. And it wasn't until after this operation, when I was at home recovering, ready to get back to my duties as STOY, where I started to make the connection between what my surgeon does every day and what you all do, what we all do as exceptional teachers each and every day in our classrooms. We go into our classrooms with this amount of care, just as my surgeon did with me, with this amount of precision to make sure that we're getting it right? And with this commitment to continuous improvement, because I was good today, but I can be better tomorrow. And so that leads me into this journey inward, right? And I want you to follow along with me for a few. Cute kid alert. So this is Kid Deion, and Kid Deion grew up in the metropolis of Vance, South Carolina, population of about 100. And so it was in this area in which I realized that I was receiving access to an excellent education. I had great teachers. I attended a great school. We had a great community. We had a lot of great things going on. And going to high school, I know that I was extremely successful. At least the numbers said that. I graduated number 4 in my class. I became my school and my district's first Bill Gates Scholar. I was doing fairly and exceptionally well, and so I thought. It wasn't until I got to college, one of the best universities in the country, and it's not Harvard, it's Clemson University. Go Tigers. And I'm at Clemson, and I'm having this conversation with one of my dorm mates about the ACT. That shows you like what kind of kids go to Clemson, just like the nerds that can't let go of standardized testing. But we're talking about the ACT, and we're comparing our test scores. And I stand proudly and say, I earned a score of 21, and my dorm mate is like, I made a 36. And I'm like, well, first of all, you're a nerd, right? But 2, that's something that I didn't even think that was possible. And so it starts to formulate these questions that I had, right? What was the difference in terms of the quality of education that I received in rural South Carolina opposed to someone in a more affluent part of our state? What is the difference in terms of the opportunities that are presented to individuals in varying areas of the state? And so these questions led me to do a little bit of research in which I found out that there's this disgusting term that describes the area in which I grew up in and attended schools. It's called South Carolina's corridor of shame. And so from the outside looking in, how this area is described is school buildings are dilapidated, that there are not high quality teachers, and that the educational attainment and opportunities for students are slim to none. And so learning that, I decided that I would become a teacher. I learned this term of educational equity, and I figured that becoming a teacher was the best way to fix it. And so I, this amazing teacher, right, was going to go and solve all of the problems and fix educational inequity. Absolutely not. But it's one of the things that I believe that we can do together as a collective effort, especially when we think about it in the lens of a doctor or of a surgeon. I believe that for teachers to become the teachers that their students absolutely deserve, we should rethink our work of educators and think, teach, and lead like surgeons. Think, teach, and lead like surgeons. And I truly believe that it is this mindset that I adopted unknowingly as a Grey's Anatomy fan, going into my years of education as a teacher and what I wanted to provide to my students and the experiences I wanted to give them. How I needed to be extremely precise in the lessons that I would give to my students to ensure that they were not only obtaining the skills that they needed to be successful in the content, but also building those soft skills for them to be successful post-graduation. One of those students being Sarai, who revealed to me that she wanted to become a professional writer. She then got accepted to the Governor's Schools for Arts and Humanities in South Carolina just a few years later, and invited me and gave me thanks, which is really weird, at her reading, her recital, in which she read this riveting piece. She's now a freshman, also at Clemson University, where she's studying writing. Or it's through that mentorship and that care and that commitment to that continuous improvement where you're mentoring folks such as Irving, who then became our school's first Bill Gates Scholar. I think all in all, the main message here is that commitment to continuous improvement, that care, that precision, all the things that we do exceptionally well in our classes are the things that help our students get from point A to point B. And so I think about iconic, show-stopping, never been done before, surgeon, Dr. Miranda Bailey from Grey's Anatomy. She has this quote, season 15, episode 16. I could be grading papers with that time, right? But it is in this particular episode in which she mentions that a child's future should not be a matter of luck. A child's future should not be a matter of luck. A child's future should not, or a child should not be lucky to be in our classes, be enrolled in our classes, to receive that access to that excellent education. A child shouldn't be lucky to grow up in an affluent area to receive access to an excellent education. they should receive access to an excellent education because it is their God-given right, right? And so I truly believe that it starts with that one teacher, with that one classroom, with that one school, with that one community in order to get our kids and give our kids what they so rightfully deserve. And it starts with us collectively thinking about how we can rethink our work as educators and think, lead, and teach like surgeons. Thank you.